but alas, Texas Tech takes down Tennessee in the end. They're 7-1. Congratulations, Patrick Mahomes. Moving on to weird. Duck Sabres. What's our rule about hockey highlights? If it looks like another sport, it goes into weird and wonderful. Zagros behind the net throws an alley-oop to Sonny Milano for the goal. What, up here? Win? 1-2. Great job. Ducks blank the Sabres. Tough 2 days for Buffalo. Moving on to the wonderful. Celtics, Lakers. Robert Williams. Another alley-oop here. Woo! Time Lord. If you just watch the highlight. Robert Williams had an amazing game. But then when you look at the box score, he ended up with 13 points and a -20 plus minus. But hey, he made it to weird and wonderful, so there's that.
Nice dunk, though.
It was great dunk. Finally, the weird Mavs Nets. Now here, Luka tries to throw it through Claxton's legs. Claxton says, dude, don't throw the ball between my legs. Luka gets attacked for pushing him. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, man. Oh, man. Why that? You're not allowed to push guys after trying to embarrass them?
Cut his mic. Training.
Why'd you call him a tech on me?
Training.
Give me a break. You're supposed to be a superstar. Yeah, you get a tech for pushing guys. And guys are allowed to talk to you if you try to put a ball between their legs. Ask Trevor Ariza. Doesn't work, my friend. Nick, you got to fly out to Dallas and talk to your guy. By the way, Mavericks under 500. Step up. And that's weird and wonderful. It's kind of a mean-spirited weird and wonderful.
Yeah, what?
You're putting me in a bad mood right before my favorite segment of the week.
Here we go, guys. It's tier time. It's its favorite segment of the week. And didn't we always sort of know this was going to happen? Knicks, Chiefs, Wilds, Patriots on a collision course to perhaps the top of Knicks tiers? Yeah, we did. Both teams won this past week. Both teams getting hot at the right time. There's a lot going on all across the league heading into Week 14. Nick, if you will, don't hold back. Show us your tiers.
Jenna, with full disclosure, I did not know that the Patriots were going to be on a collision course with the Chiefs. I never possibly imagined it. I still can't believe this hell world we live in. However, such is life. The committee convened. We have tiers for you. Announcement, though, and this will apply the rest of the season, is not a 32-team tiers. 31-team tiers. Texans, you're not going to see them anywhere. You know why? They've been eliminated from playoff contention. Once you're out of playoff contention, you're off the committee's radar entirely. These teams, some of you guys dropping off pretty soon, but all of you technically still alive. I wanted to drop the Vikings further for that pathetic loss. Broussard wants Seattle higher because they're still alive. They don't get named. Now let's move on to teams that are still up. Some of those still alive. All 31 teams are still alive. Broussard, even the Lions. Just let us in. We're banging on the door. Just let us in. Teams that would love to make the playoffs probably won't, but if they do, they'll just be happy to be there. By the way, that kind of sucks for the Browns and the Niners. We're entering Week 14, and they're in the just let us in version of the tiers, but that's where they're at. All right, next group. Here we go. For this group of teams, first round exit. That's 4 AFC teams, none of whom I believe can win a playoff game. Sorry, Buffalo. You're embarrassing. I love the ceilings of all three of these teams. I know the Bengals just played the Chargers, and the Chargers won in what looked like a blowout, but that was a weird game. It was 24 straight for the Chargers, then 22 straight for Cincy, then I think 19 straight for the... I think those teams are very even, and the committee, unlike me, doesn't hold biases or prejudices against, quarterbacks based on old takes. The committee's been impressed by Carson Wentz. I personally, Nick Wright speaking for me, still wouldn't trust him to watch my dog. But the committee says Carson Wentz, he's played well this year. The Colts are dangerous game. Next group, please. Fatal flaw group. Quarterback, coach, quarterback. These three teams all have gaudy records, and I know what you're thinking. You see the Patriots there. Say, Nick, the committee really thinks the Patriots deserve to be on the same tier as the Cowboys, who they lost to.
Gotta be kidding me.
The committee does. The committee cares about how you're playing right now. They've won 7 in a row. The committee respects the Patriots. However, no team with Mac Jones or Matt Stafford is winning a Super Bowl, and no team with Mike McCarthy is winning a Super Bowl. Sorry, those are the rules. Next group, please. Ratings bonanza. Same top 4, by the way. Maybe not in the same order, but the same top 4 as last week. Why? because late into the year, there's not going to be quite as much movement. A lot of your season's been baked in. When I say ratings bonanza, this was last year's NFC Championship game on Fox. The committee believes this likely will be this year's NFC Championship game on Fox. And what could be Aaron Rodgers' final game ever for the Packers, if they were to lose, if they get there. Tom Brady trying to go back-to-back in a different uniform. It would be an absolute ratings bonanza. And I personally, don't reveal what's next, by the way, believe these are the two best teams in the NFC. Okay. So last week, we had the Chiefs at 2 and the Cardinals at 1. And there was a lot of nefarious allegations about the committee being afraid of an alleged curse, all these things. So the committee studied both of these two teams' games this week because they were neck and neck for the top spot. And the committee, by a 7-6 vote, installed the Chiefs as the top team. So there's Cardinals #1 contenders, Chiefs as the favorites. You might say, why? What? Well, I'll tell you what we're doing in the peanut gallery, sir. The Cardinals and the Chiefs were neck and neck going into last week's tiers. The Cardinals this week played an Andy Dalton-led team that had 4 Andy Dalton picks, and they won by 11. The Chiefs, meanwhile, played a red-hot Broncos team that in the last month had beaten Washington, who itself is red-hot, had beaten Dallas, but 30-0 lead against Dallas, and had beaten the Chargers. That's what the Broncos have done in the last month. I know that the right side of your screen would like to pretend the Broncos are some pathetic franchise. They had a winning record, and they were the hottest they've been all year. The Chiefs led that game for 56 minutes, led that game by double digits, by multiple scores, I should say, for 30 minutes, and never trailed. That is what we call an impressive victory over a good opponent. The Cardinals had an okay 11-point victory against a bad opponent, so the Chiefs reinstalled as favorites. Now, Broussard, once upon a time, I didn't put the Cardinals as favorites, and you attacked the committee. Then the committee did put the Cardinals as favorites, and you attacked the committee. So I know there's no pleasing you, sir. I now have a small glimpse into the life it would be to be married to you. This is, what do you want from me? There's no pleasing you. I mean, my God. But so what do you think? What do you think? I mean, the committee's done everything you have asked. What do you think?
All right, Nick, it pains me to say this. I am going beyond attacking the committee. I think it's necessary. I'm calling for an all-out investigation of the committee. The committee clearly has an agenda. The committee is not objective. All right? The committee's agenda, Nick, is clearly whatever it takes to make the Chiefs look good. Whatever it takes to have the Chiefs at the top of the agenda, at the top of the tiers. That's the agenda, and it's flat out wrong, and I want an investigation. The reason they weren't on there last week is because the committee was frightened. The committee was afraid. The committee was terrified that there was actually a real live curse. All right? They were. And they didn't want the Chiefs to be #1 because they thought they would lose to their rival in Denver. And the proof of the fact that there's a curse, or they thought there was a curse, was you, sir. A week ago, what was your upset alert? What was your upset alert? It was the #1 team in the tiers, the Arizona Cardinals, going down to that woe-begone team you called the Chicago Bears. Andy Dalton and all. You thought they'd win because you thought there was a curse. And now that the Cardinals win, in impressive fashion, I might add, 4 picks of Andy Dalton. Kyler, they get healthy. Kyler Murray's back, 4 touchdowns. DeAndre Hopkins is back. And they drop? They only drop because now you feel good. The committee knows there's no curse. We can now put the Chiefs back on top. I wanted Pep. I want an investigation. Wow. I'm serious.
Okay. Okay, so
Dusty, all of you guys.
Points of order. First point, I don't know if anyone's picked up on this. They probably haven't, because I'm not as self-aggrandizing as Broussard is, so I don't just throw it in your guys' faces. But my upset alert is a first cousin of Broussard's Bud list. It's to inspire motivation for a team, sharpen their blade a bit before a game where they could become upset. That's first point. Second point is, yeah, I understand some of the squeamishness about Kansas City because, you know, their quarterback this week only threw for 100.